Hey guys, welcome back to the Splat Moto YouTube channel. This week we're talking about setting the bike in motion, letting the clutch out a little bit quicker so we can just immediately get that bike in motion and get as much momentum as we can from a dead stop. So we're working with Catherine in this one, and she's been having a little bit of an issue just letting that clutch all the way out right from a stop. So as always, I'm gonna get into the details of this concept, and I really want you guys to understand this clutch out quicker at a lower RPM style. This doesn't mean that we're just going to live with the clutch out in a low RPM everywhere, but we are gonna use it in little moments here and there in a lot of different spots. So I'm gonna get into that, and I'm also gonna give you some progressions to think about. Perfect. Sometimes you can achieve success on a particular section using 2 or 3 different styles of power. We see this if you watch Romaniacs and Erzberg enough. All right, so this is the section I was having Catherine work on, and it is harder than it looks, especially once you're on the bike. Now I have a big rock in front of my front tire. Traction is really not a problem in this spot here. So we want to take advantage of our ability to accelerate and get the bike moving almost instantaneously. And with the amount of traction that we have and the tire setup that we have, it's almost hard to break the back wheel loose. Of course, you can build power, and there's a time and a place for building a lot of power and then releasing the clutch. Sometimes a lower RPM actually really ensures that you're gonna get really good positive drive forward. So we basically need to lift the front end before we even start moving. Now I could just tractor through this and plow through it, and there's a chance I'll make it through okay. But in a lot of situations, like on an uphill through like a rocky canyon or something, we actually want to pick the front tire up before we even start moving and float it above. I'm gonna initially let the clutch out pretty far. You can see the clutch comes out basically all the way until my rear tire hits that first big rock, and then I start kind of controlling the wheel spin again.
Depending on what kind of gearing you have is really important too. So if you have stock gearing or something like that, your clutch may be in a little bit farther than mine is. What we're trying to do, and what I was working with Catherine on this one, was trying to just set the bike in motion and get as much momentum right from where we're at as possible. What her problem was is the commitment to letting the clutch out enough to really get the bike driving forward. So this is a kind of a feel thing too, and psychologically this is very important that we have a good feel for letting that clutch out quicker and setting the bike in motion and knowing what that feels like, because us driving forward a little quicker and getting the bike moving a little quicker will ultimately allow us to balance a little bit better and get us past any major junk, in this case this big rock in front of me. So I'm just going to demonstrate this, and I'm going to just try to let that clutch out really fast. I'm not going to go build like a lot of power and flip the clutch. I'm going to keep like a steady throttle above, just slightly above idle, and just let the clutch out pretty quick. And I'm not going to like bring my body forward either. I'm trying to pick the front end up before I even get moving here. All right, that was basically exactly what we wanted right there.
After we started talking about this for a minute, it was just a quick mental shift, and she started letting the clutch out a lot quicker and having a lot more success, feeling a lot more comfortable and balanced on the way up.
There. Now the cool thing about this style of power is, yes, there's a lot of traction, but this style of power works really good sometimes when there's no traction and sometimes when there is a lot of traction. So it's a great thing to work on. So let's talk about some ways that we can work on that. So step 1 would just be to just try this on flat ground. So listen to how I take off here, and you'll see on the clutch cam as well what my finger's doing. But instead of doing this type of thing, where we kind of slip the clutch and we kind of progressively take off and progressively let the clutch out, you could try to let it out a little quicker. So listen to how I take off here, and you'll see on the clutch cam as well what my finger's doing. But instead of doing this type of thing, where we kind of slip the clutch and we kind of progressively take off and progressively let the clutch out, you could try to let it out a little quicker. Like if we let it out too quick with not enough throttle, you know, that was about actually what I did want right there. That actually was really good. Let's see if I can do it a little slower so that it almost stalls here. Right, I gave it throttle, but it was a little late with the throttle. So having just a tiny bit of RPMs before we let that clutch out, and then because we're letting the clutch out so fast, the RPMs want to die really quick.
You're going to have to experiment with compensating with either more throttle or slipping the clutch more, and or both at the same time.
Which means we need to give it more throttle. So it's going to be a little bit like, right? We're climbing up to those high RPMs, and while we're doing that, we're getting a really effective traction control. This is like a natural traction control without the clutch almost. It's almost more just throttle.
All right, just to reiterate, when I mentioned controlling the traction with just the throttle and the clutch being all the way out, in many cases, this is just momentarily, maybe just for a few feet or a few inches, just to kind of find traction. And a lot of this depends on how much momentum we already have and what gear we're in. So it's going to take some experimentation, but having that clutch all the way out allows that full drive forward sometimes, and at a lower RPM, the rear tire has less of a chance to break loose. So just try to think about that, try to digest that concept, and then start slowly adding it into your riding. To give you guys an analogy of what I'm talking about, imagine I'm on ice right now on my feet, and I just start moving my legs really fast. You'll just sit in one spot, right? It's too slippery. But if I take my time getting going, I can set my body in motion and then build some momentum over time. This is kind of exactly what we're talking about.
Sometimes you can achieve success on a particular section using 2 or 3 different styles of power delivery. We see this if you watch Romaniacs and Ayersburg enough, you will see different approaches for different sections. So
hence electric bikes.
See, it kind of almost died there. That's about as low as we would ever need to or want to even get. And honestly, it is risky to do that. So you got to pick and choose when you're going to do that. Sometimes I have not many options left and there's not a whole lot of traction to deal with. And my only hope is that I could just barely keep that bike running at like the lowest RPM. And sometimes it works. A lot of times it works because I've practiced it a lot.
Now this is something I'm always working on, and I still get caught out once in a while, but I do try to minimize doing it in the riskiest spots. So watching this one, how I do that technique that we're talking about where I really get to the low RPMs, but I do it on the back end of this whole sequence, the back end of the move that we're talking about here. So I start off with the zap, I build a lot of power with the throttle, I let off the throttle, clutch comes out, and then I'm back to slipping, but it's really, really low RPM because I'm trying not to spin on a surface that has a bunch of loose junk on top of it. So I fail the first time, but I end up getting it on the second one. So watch out about getting a little too low.
Ah, come on, Nick.
See if you can hear the difference on this one. This is sort of a hybrid. It's a lighter, more mild blend of zapping and then lugging, but kind of slipping the whole time, especially towards the end, just to hold ourselves there. All right, guys, that's all I got for you this week. So as always, make sure to start small and make sure to have fun with it. All this stuff I'm talking about takes experience. So let me know down in the comments if this one helped. Also, make sure to support the companies that support me. Join my Patreon if you guys want all the little details, if you're maybe just getting into it or you want to make sure your foundation is solid. I have all kinds of little progressions on my Patreon. And if you guys want to set up a clinic in your area, make sure to send me a message. on Facebook or Instagram, or you can email me, and we'll see you guys in the next one.